In New Mexico, a family darts through the desert with a smuggler wielding his gun, demanding payment for their border journey. Suddenly, a distant figure appears. Assuming it's Border Patrol, they watch in horror as a soldier hurtles down the hill, pouncing on the man for sustenance. This bizarre scene unfolded 2 days prior at a New Mexico military base. Dr. Snowman, amidst pig experiments, is interrupted by Commander Murdoch, stressing the need for speedy results ahead of an impending visit. Meanwhile, in a Mexican prison, Alonso is serenaded for his birthday but bids farewell, facing extradition. Spotting a new guard, Alonso probes, sensing ex-military ties, breeding suspicion. Reporter Lilia covers Alonso's extradition, detailing his criminal reign and enigmatic family life. Agents Becerril and Cruz indulge in secrecy, risking termination for their intimacy. Amidst preparations, DEA agents in Texas gear up for Alonso's transport. Meanwhile, at Paradise Rehab Center, Dr. Henry divulges lengthy renovations necessitating premises evacuation to a patient. At that moment, his cousin Alonso calls, blaring the radio to evade suspicion from the cops. Henry assures him of prepared accommodations as Alonso declares the start of his vacation today. Later, a senator visits the base, briefed by Snowman on his experiments, exploiting insects' pain tolerance to forge super soldiers. Demonstrating, he administers the serum to a pig, which promptly succumbs. Enraged, the senator threatens program termination if results don't surface within a week. Murdoch berates Snowman, demanding resolution to avoid blacklist. Snowman doses another pig, inducing unconsciousness. Valencia suspects life, but Murdoch discards it, ordering disposal of all deceased subjects. Snowman clandestinely administers a double dose to a pig. In the desert, Valencia disposes of dead pigs, finding one alive and setting it free. Meanwhile, Lilia disguises herself, slipping a toy gun into a visitor's bag, inciting chaos to infiltrate the prison. Amidst the commotion, Contreras disables security cameras as guards receive a signal. Alonso anticipates the guard's attack, subduing him and escaping through a concealed hole. Lilia, intending to interview Alonso, documents the prison's alert of an escape. Underground, Alonso rendezvous with a gang member, fleeing on bikes. In the desert, a starving dog approaches a dead pig, startled as it awakens with eerie eyes. Soon, other pigs emerge, attacking the dog ferociously. Satiated, they scent another prey and vanish into a drainage tunnel. In prison, Becerril questions Contreras about the new guard, uncovering a suspiciously clean toilet concealing a secret tunnel. Lilia records this before guards confiscate her camera. She leverages her media threat to escape arrest. Meanwhile, the DEA immobilizes upon learning of Alonso's escape. Alonso reunites with his gang, suspecting Apostle's involvement in the guard's attack. Reuniting with his son, Lucas rebuffs him for past abandonment. The gang sets explosives, fleeing before Becerril's team arrives, narrowly surviving the blast. Attacked by mutated pigs, agents open fire, succumbing as their bodies morph akin to the pigs. Back in the lab, Snowman combines the serum with his recreational powder and administers it to the pig, which promptly perishes. Yet, upon Snowman's exit, the pig revives, exhibiting erratic behavior, unleashing chaos by attacking its companions. Snowman, upon witnessing the mayhem, hastens to inform Murdoch of his breakthrough, acknowledging the need for serum adjustments to eliminate cannibalistic tendencies. He requests the supposedly deceased pigs for further experimentation. Outside the prison, Lilia persists in covering the escape, extending an invitation to Alonso for his side of the story. Meanwhile, Alonso and the gang traverse a tunnel, inciting Lucas's ire when his father declines gun instruction. Emerging at the rehab center, Lucas balks at the juvenile room prepared for him, yearning for his old life and friends. Underground, revived soldiers, now zombies, utter Alonso's name as they tunnel to the surface, gaining strength to forge ahead. Encountering a gate, they exert newfound power, bending bars to proceed. Encountering a snake, they dispatch and consume it. Nearby, Snowman and Valencia locate the dog's carcass as a snarling pig emerges, bloodied. Valencia prepares to shoot, halted by Snowman's intervention. They cautiously approach the animal, which suddenly lunges to attack, but fortunately, Valencia intervenes just in time. Later in the evening, the Secretary of State engages with the press, and Lilia inquires about rumors regarding Alonso's alleged inside assistance. If confirmed, the secretary vows repercussions. Observing this on TV, Contreras becomes apprehensive, then receives a call from the Apostle Prophet, granting him 48 hours to rectify his error. The following day, Lucas deceives Dog, asserting his father's approval for him to learn shooting, prompting Dog to instruct him. Alonso discovers this and consents, even commending Lucas for his accuracy. Subsequently, Alonso directs his men to remain vigilant for potential attacks, suspecting an apostle's subsequent attempt and even speculating about a possible traitor among them. Meanwhile, in a Texas prison, El Romeo criticizes the food and insults a guard. However, before the situation escalates, another guard announces Joel of the DEA's visit. Aware of Romeo's past friendship with Alonso and feeling responsible for Romeo's incarceration, Joel proposes a deal for Romeo's freedom in exchange for assistance in locating Alonso. Romeo agrees, stipulating that he be the one to end Alonso's life. As they prepare to cross the border, Romeo reminisces about his past adventures with Alonso, leading Joel to deduce Alonso's presence in the USA rather than Mexico, prompting him to alter his course. In the afternoon, Lilia meets Contreras, who offers her 2 million pesos to aid in locating Alonso. Initially hesitant, Lilia relents under Contreras' threat to tarnish her reputation and have her arrested, on the condition that she secures exclusive coverage of the extradition. They agree, and as Contreras attempts to kiss her, Lilia retreats hastily. Shortly after, a mysterious car tails her. Lilia notices and seeks refuge in a pool, attempting to lose the pursuer by entering the female changing room. The individual follows but is rebuked by a woman who orders him to leave. Meanwhile, at the base, Valencia returns with the zombie pig in a cage, attracting another soldier's curiosity, prompting a closer inspection. Ignoring Valencia's warning, the soldier inserts his finger into the cage, and the pig promptly bites him. Valencia escorts him to Snowman, who instructs her and his assistant to secure him to a table without touching the wound. The infected soldier convulses until his demise. Within seconds, he reanimates as a zombie. Meanwhile, Alonso and his group view another video from Lilia, requesting an interview with an assurance of his safety. Believing her, Lucas prompts Alonso to accept, and he calls Lilia to confirm. Subsequently, Alonso surprises Lucas with his very own drone. Despite receiving a similar gift in the past, Lucas appreciates it and vows not to let the drone cross the fence. However, sitting at the fence, he disobeys and releases the drone. After losing the signal, Lucas ventures outside to retrieve it, only to witness zombified soldiers running amok when he regains the image. Speaking of zombies, they locate the initial group, attacking each member. When Cruz nears a pregnant woman, she hesitates, gently touching her belly before abruptly killing her. Simultaneously, Noballs leaves the center to dispatch a messenger bird, caught in the act by Alonso, who shoots him, also killing the bird. Alonso discovers Noballs worked for the apostles, who are terrified and flee, with Alonso in pursuit. The gang intervenes, urging Alonso to let them handle Noballs, allowing him to return to his son. Meanwhile, Dog realizes Lucas is missing and searches for him. Upon Alonso's return, he finds the house empty, using binoculars to locate Dog and trail him. Lucas encounters the transformed smuggler, conversing from a distance but deeming him creepy and hurling a rock. This agitates the zombie further, prompting him to pursue the boy. Just as he nears Lucas, the smuggler is shot by Dog. Hearing the gunfire, Alonso rushes toward the commotion while Dog attends to Lucas. However, the zombie rebounds and assaults Dog. An intense struggle ensues, resulting in Dog being bitten, prompting Lucas to divert the zombie's attention with a sizable rock. Seizing the opportunity, Dog dispatches the smuggler with his knife, instructing Lucas to flee before witnessing his transformation. The gang spots Noballs concealed among the trees and opens fire, but he eludes them, eventually returning to the center and attempting to escape through a tunnel. Pursued by a gang member, Noballs ambushes and dispatches him, continuing onward. Encountering soldiers moments later, Noballs fires but misses, succumbing to the advancing zombies. Alonso finally reunites with his son, who leads him to Dog. Initially presumed dead, Dog surprises them, prompting Alonso to swiftly eliminate him, denouncing him as a traitor. Despite Lucas's tearful explanation, Alonso remains unconvinced. They regroup with the gang and depart, unaware of Cruz's clandestine observation. Meanwhile, in the lab, Snowman examines the bitten soldier, who experiences a harrowing nightmare of floating and transforming amidst frenzied pigs. As his body begins shaking anew, Snowman administers a different serum to stabilize him, expressing excitement at the prospect of creating a perfect soldier. Valencia disapproves, and after their departure, the soldier reveals his red eyes. Meanwhile, Joel halts the car for Romeo to relieve himself but also brandishes his gun, reminding Romeo of their agreement. Romeo retorts, prompting Joel to strike him and press him against the truck until Romeo divulges information about Henry, agreeing to accompany them. At the international airport in Mexico, Lilia arrives disguised as a nun, but Contreras and his partner recognize her. Alone, Contreras seizes her, cautioning against crossing him or facing dire consequences, and behaves inappropriately. Upon releasing her, Lilia reports Contreras' harassment to the guards, who expel him, though his partner remains. Later, at the lab, Snowman introduces Murdoch for a demonstration. He commands the soldier to move his fingers. When the soldier defies him, Snowman resorts to electroshock to enforce obedience. Seeking to display the soldier's newfound strength, Snowman provides a tennis ball to demolish. The soldier shatters the ball and the table, attacking Murdoch before Valencia subdues him with a shot. An ungrateful Snowman panics, lamenting the loss of his sole human specimen, urging them to procure another, noting the likelihood of more specimens due to the pigs. At the rehab center, Alonso experiences intense pain, stemming from injuries sustained during Dog's attack. While his men attend to his wound, Lucas sketches the zombie that assaulted Dog, recounting sightings of these monsters on his drone's feed. Alonso commands his men to apprehend the individuals Lucas spotted, suspecting them of espionage. Later, in Texas, Lilia is greeted by Henry, who blindfolds her and confiscates her phone before they depart. However, upon reaching the road, Henry halts the car and seizes his gun. They discover Contreras' partner tailing them, prompting Henry's intervention. Lilia feigns unconsciousness in the road, luring the officer to stop, enabling Henry to collide with the car and dispatch the officer, unsettling Lilia. In the desert, Cruz marshals her horde of transformed immigrants, confronting Becerril. Engaging in a frenzied struggle, they succumb to their primal instincts, reliving their shared past. As evening falls, Lucas guards Alonso, startled by distant howls. Peering outside, he encounters a mysterious figure, prompting him to wield Alonso's gun, only to find a zombified Dog. Fleeing inside, Lucas triggers Dog's recollection of their bond, compelling him to cease his pursuit. Meanwhile, two gang members scour for monsters and hear a noise, finding nothing on the road before departing, unaware of a zombie signaling their allies regarding Alonso's whereabouts. At the base, Murdoch reminds Valencia of the mission's covert nature, emphasizing the need for secrecy. Valencia departs with 2 additional soldiers to initiate the zombie hunt. Upon reaching the desert, they encounter 3 individuals on foot and pursue them, mistaking them for zombies. However, they are illegal immigrants fleeing from presumed border authorities. The soldiers return to their truck, attempting to give chase, but inadvertently collide with an object, a zombie, which swiftly attacks. While Valencia saves herself, her companions sustain bites, compelling her to flee solo. Meanwhile, Joel abuses his authority to secure a helicopter rental, disregarding Romeo's lack of a license. Hindered by the hour, they linger in the waiting room, prompting Romeo's recollection of a past encounter with Alonso, marked by betrayal. Despite Romeo's fury, Joel insists on collaboration to capture Alonso. On the road, Henry and Lilia's car malfunctions, prompting Henry's decision to continue on foot, rejecting Lilia's suggestion to use her phone. A passing priest mistakes Lilia for a nun, and offers them a ride. Elsewhere, Snowman conducts an autopsy on the deceased zombie, unveiling the emergence of a second heart in the soldier, which is an astonishing revelation. The following morning, the hunting party encounters a zombie and Dog, still alive. A scuffle ensues, resulting in one member's infection and another's success in subduing Dog, destined for the center where Alonso scrutinizes Lucas's zombie sketches. Alonso emerges and observes Dog's convulsions, attributing them to the Apostle's new substance. When Dog attempts to bite, Alonso halts him by pressing his brain, yet Lucas intervenes, advocating for Dog's innate goodness. Despite Lucas's plea, Alonso orders Dog's relocation with the horses, unconvinced of his former loyalty. In the desert, the infected gang member transforms into a zombie, prompting soldiers to enlist his guidance to the rehab center. Meanwhile, at the lab, Valencia relays her observations to Murdoch, who contemplates exterminating the zombies following their lethal assault on trained soldiers. Snowman objects, insisting on retaining one specimen, challenging Murdoch's authority, but the latter remains unfazed. Back at the center, Lucas endeavors to communicate with Dog, who fails to comprehend and lunges at him. Lucas flees and confronts Alonso, questioning his compassion and recalling his mother's fate. Alonso's silence confirms Lucas's suspicions, prompting him to flee in anguish. Pursuing his son, Alonso, acknowledging his pain, entrusts Lucas with his own gun for protection. As the zombie soldiers approach the center, Joel and Romeo depart in a helicopter, while Lilia and Henry are still in the car with the priest, who overindulges and makes advances toward Lilia. Henry discards the bottle, and they delve into a conversation about the devil until interrupted by a zombie on the road. Recognizing him as a former gang member, Henry addresses him, but the zombie lunges through the window, biting the priest. Lilia struggles for control of the wheel as the zombie drags the priest, causing the car to crash moments later. The guard at the rehab center witnesses the attack and summons help. Henry exits the car, firing at the zombie, only to be targeted next. Lilia intervenes, shooting down the zombie before assessing the priest, who succumbed to his injuries. At that instant, Alonso arrives in a car, rescuing them from the chaos. Upon their return to the center, Henry tends to Alonso's wound while Lucas continues sketching zombies. Lilia seeks clarity on the situation, prompting Alonso to attribute it once again to the Apostle's new substance. Lucas counters, noting that all encountered monsters have been bitten, suggesting a rabies-like spread. Alonso silences him, leading to Lucas's frustrated departure, expressing that his father deserves to perish. Meanwhile, Snowman, Murdoch, and their team reach the desert, discovering the soldier's body from Valencia's recent loss. They determine he died from a stray bullet, rendering the body useless for Snowman's purposes. Spotting an abandoned car nearby, the soldiers investigate. Lucas retrieves two old walkie-talkies from his bedroom, reminiscing about playing with Dog. Despite initial nostalgia, Dog destroys the toy, straining against the chain. When Dog breaks free, Lucas reluctantly shoots him, overwhelmed with grief. Alonso rushes to comfort his son upon hearing the shots, interrupted by the arrival of a helicopter. As they prepare to land, Becerril emerges, hurling a massive rock at the helicopter, causing it to crash. The zombie horde, led by Becerril, advances toward the center, following strategic commands for their attack. As the zombies breach the wall, the gang members emerge and open fire, struggling to find effective targets. The helicopter's smoke and gunfire catch the attention of Murdoch's group, prompting them to head towards the center. Romeo and Joel disembark the helicopter unharmed, encountering 3 zombies, prompting them to engage in gunfire. Despite swiftly dispatching the priest and a soldier, one gang member manages to flee. A zombie slips past the guards, prompting Henry, Alonso, Lilia, and Lucas to seek refuge deeper inside. Lilia unveils a hidden phone, recording as the zombie soldier investigates Lucas's room. Concealed amidst teddy bears, Alonso attempts to shoot but is exposed, leading to a struggle against the zombie. Alonso forces her to release him with gunfire, and they tumble through a glass door as Lucas emerges and opens fire. Faced with another zombie, Lucas flees, leaving his father behind. Taking cover under a table, he is discovered but rescued by Lilia, who delivers precise shots to kill the zombie. Lucas examines the body, discovering the zombies possess 2 hearts akin to insects, prompting Lilia to capture images. Alonso arrives, reprimanding Lilia for recording before ushering them away. Meanwhile, Henry combats a zombie, ultimately dousing it with liquid smoke, setting it ablaze, and using a chair to dislodge it from the wall. Zombified Noballs confronts his former comrades, battling despite overwhelming memories. Cruz and Becerril hunt together like a content couple, while another soldier enters the house and engages in combat with a gang member who leaves a grenade before seeking refuge in the bathroom. The zombie merely discards the grenade before pursuing the man, only to abandon the chase when called by Becerril to join them. Alonso, Lilia, and Lucas attempt to flee through the back door, encountering another zombie. Alonso's shots miss, prompting a scuffle, but Lilia's accurate shot creates an opportunity for Alonso to finish the zombie. Lucas examines the zombie, noting the cerebellum as their weak point, not the brain, before the trio returns inside. Joel and Romeo later enter the house, splitting up to cover more ground. Joel disregards a zombie's corpse, opting to pilfer a wine bottle instead, until the sudden arrival of Alonso and the others prompts him to burst into the room. Despite Alonso's drawn gun, he refrains from shooting as Lucas rushes to embrace Romeo. Before any discussion can transpire, Joel enters with a zombie trailing behind him. In unison, they eliminate the zombie swiftly, but now find themselves in a Mexican standoff, agreeing to a temporary truce. Meanwhile, as Becerril and Cruz continue their stealthy maneuvers, Murdoch's trucks breach the front gate, soldiers advancing toward the house with Snowman's insistence on capturing at least one living body. A zombie soldier appears but disregards orders, prompting Valencia and her team to open fire despite Snowman's protests. Murdoch resorts to a megaphone to communicate with those inside, causing Becerril and Cruz to hesitate with smoke bombs in hand. Inside, Henry and the sole remaining gang member join Alonso's group. The gang member admits to being the mole sent by the apostles, but Alonso spares him, deeming abandonment to the zombies a harsher punishment. As Alonso's group attempts to approach the exit, Cruz and Becerril emerge from the front door with raised arms, signaling surrender, followed by their horde. Valencia engages in dialogue, learning of their demand for Alonso. Overhearing, Alonso redirects the group through a different exit, excluding Joel. As the group escapes through the back door, Joel returns to negotiate with the apostles' mole. Outside, Becerril articulates their plea, emphasizing their humanity and signaling the horde to activate smoke bombs. The soldiers fire blindly, but Snowman intervenes, urging them to avoid harming the zombies, who flee to the hills. Meanwhile, Alonso guides his group to the guard's post, discovering another gang member. Together, they remove the tunnel lid for escape. As the group descends, Alonso is attacked by a zombie, sustaining a bite to his arm. He shoots the zombie, concealing his injury, and joins the others in the tunnel, sealing it behind them. Unaware of lurking pigs, they hasten back to Mexico. And that's how the first season ends. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications for more content like this. Thank you for watching.